I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you for your patience tonight. We're going to get started here with our favorite, which is accentuate the positive. And tonight we are celebrating the Indiana Council for Exceptional Children and Award winners, which is Mr. Mitchner, Ms. Franklin, and Ms. Rose presenting.
Yes, thank you. So we're going to go ahead and invite these 5 people up here now as well. So our 5 award recipients can come on up, please. Yep, Bobby, stand right over here. Awesome. So we are really excited tonight to show these people off and be part of the Palestine Special Education team. So as you said, CEC stands for the Council for Exceptional Children, and INSEC is the Indiana chapter of that. And it's a nationwide organization for special education teachers. And so a few weeks ago, we had there was a conference, the INSEC conference, and part of that conference was the awards luncheon. Each year, they award 8 different awards in the realm of special education for teachers, instructional assistants, students, community members. And so there were 8 awards at that luncheon. And of those 8, we got 5, which is awesome. Which is pretty cool. And so with me tonight, we've got Cheryl, Rose, and Amber Franklin, our special education coordinators, to help kind of introduce these people and their awards. So,
thank you, Nick. The first award we'd like to present is to Miss Mindy Huseman. She earned the Special Educator Rising Star Award. For this award, you have to be a CEC member teacher within your first 5 years of your special education career. And for this award, there are many criteria, amazing criteria that make you an amazing educator. But the one that stood out the most to us is her positive impact on the school community. So a little bit about Mindy. A year ago, we asked her to move from one building in our district to another, and she accepted the challenge. And in doing so, she brought a huge role of positivity to the resource department. She has collaborated with the general education staff and been a role model for her students and her staff, other resource team members, and we're just really thankful for all that you do every day.
Our next award winner was Jennifer Norton, and Jen is an instructional assistant at Brandywine Elementary in our Essential Skills program. And she works with our students who are ages kindergarten through 2nd grade. Maybe sometimes she gets some of the other ones, but for the most part, K through 2. And she just does an amazing job. She received the Para Educator of the Year award and was recognized for her excellence of service. She's an amazing role model for both her students and her colleagues that she works with. She always goes above and beyond the expectations for her role, and she builds positive relationships with students and families. She's really, and if you get to know her, she's an inspiration to anyone who knows her, and we are just really, really proud to have Jen receive this award.
Next is the Outstanding Administrator of the Year Award, and this goes to Mr. Vincent Mio. There were also a lot of criteria in this, but mostly somebody who goes above and beyond to make sure that all of our students and individuals with disabilities are included and supported. For him, over the last 3 years, he's worked really hard with our department to create 3 different programs: Create, Sustain, and Be Successful. 3 years ago, we implemented the STRIDE program at NPI, which is 5th through 8th grade. And then this past year, we brought Essential Skills into the intermediate building, 5th and 6th. So he just goes, again, above and beyond, like the criteria said, and makes all of the staff, the students, and the families feel special. So we like to thank Vincent.
Our next recipient is Mr. Jordan Miller. And Jordan is a parent of students in our school system, a community member. They live here in the community. And Jordan received the Distinctive Service of the Year Award. He was nominated for this award as a result of his work in helping to establish a CPAC, which is Special Education Parent Advisory Council here in the district. That is a parent-led group that collaborates with special education school leadership and just helps to support positive relationships between parents and families and administration. So Jordan's been really just integral in getting that started for us, and we're super proud to have that. He just really is a great model for how a parent can advocate for their students, but also have a positive relationship with administrators in the district. So thank you, Jordan.
And then last, but certainly not least, we have the Teacher of the Year Award, which was Hannah Machino. So Hannah is one of our essential skills teachers at Brandywine Elementary, and so the description of this award was their work had to exemplify the best in special education teaching, reflect significant documented positive outcomes, and the highest standards of educational quality. And so that's a pretty high bar to set, and so to have the board of directors say, like, yeah, you guys absolutely got that in Hannah, they're absolutely right. And so over the last several weeks, I've had a chance to really collaborate with her on several different ideas and things that we're talking about with special education. She is a huge advocate for her students and just a wealth of knowledge in special education and essential skills programming. And she's creative in her ideas to try to reach every single one of her students. And so we are very, very blessed to have her on our team in New Pal. So we just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to celebrate these 5 individuals, because they're outstanding at what they do, and we are definitely super proud of them. So congratulations to all 5.
But we are also very proud of you guys and your accomplishments, and Ms. Haverly would like to read a letter from the board for us.
On behalf of the New Palestine Community Schools Board of Trustees, we are honored to recognize you and your recent award from the Indiana Council for Exceptional Children. This recognition is a testament to your dedication, professionalism, and commitment to serving our students and our community. This honor reflects not only your individual excellence, but also the positive and lasting impact you make every day. Through your leadership, compassion, integrity, and pursuit of excellence, you exemplify the very best of New Palestine Community Schools. We are grateful for the difference you make in the lives of our students and families. Your work strengthens our schools and reinforces our shared commitment to providing exceptional opportunities for every learner. Congratulations on this well-deserved state recognition.
You know they'll be a big congratulations, sir.
Well done, sir. Excellent.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Well done, sir. Congratulations.
Right now, so I'll get a shot of everyone.
I'm surprised you didn't make this many shirts. Hey, she's always proud of so make this All right, moving down our agenda is, next on our agenda is approval of the agenda. At this time, we have a motion for approval.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved and second. Any comments or questions about tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of accepting the agenda indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. We have an agenda. Next on our agenda is the citizens' comments for agenda items. And will we have any this evening? So we'll move on to consent agenda tonight. And tonight we're being asked to approve meeting minutes dated February 9, 2026, claims and finances, payroll claims dated through February 13, 2026, and the personnel report for March 2nd, 2026. At this time, could I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any comments, questions, or amendments to the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next on our agenda is new business, and tonight we're asking Ms. Gizzy to come forward with donations. Lots of donations.
Good evening. Our first donation tonight is from Wayne and Amy Hedden. They donated $200 to NPI to go toward the school's Essential Skills program. Our second donation is from Deborah and Mark Cavan in the amount of $200. That's for New Boston High School. They're asking for that to go to the athletic department in memory of James Evans. Our next donation is from Mozzie's Pizza, their Rise and Dough promotion, and they donated $100 for the community education program for any community education needs. Next is from Brandon and Jennifer Wilson, who donated $3,778.50 to the NPCS robotics program. And then we have a donation from Angela and Mark Baker in the amount of $400 to the NPHS Boys Golf program. Next, we have a donation from the Walmart Stores East Distribution Center, and they donated 7 pallets, which was roughly 2,500 pounds of Legos for our elementary schools and other elementary schools in central Indiana, so we received a portion of those. Next is from Bell Professional Mortuary. They donated $403.10 toward the college and career fair. Coning Equipment also donated to the college and career fair in the amount of $100. Kokosing Industrial Incorporated donated $500 toward the college and career fair. And our final donation is from Central Indiana Communications Incorporated, otherwise known as 9 Star Connect, and they donated $1,000 towards the college and career fair. So we're asking for board approval at this time for these generous donations.
Excellent. This time, can we get a motion for the donations?
I move that we approve the donations as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
I think the Lego donation may be one of my favorites of all. That's outstanding.
Very cool.
Yeah. 2,500 pounds, that's a lot of Legos. Okay, any other comments or questions? All right, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of accepting the donations presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is the summer enrichment programs in summer school, and that'll be Mr. Smith and Mr. Mitchell.
I don't know how we follow that Lego donation.
Yeah.
We're gonna sure try.
Well, thank you for letting us present and ask for approval tonight for our summer programming for 2026. And so in front of you, you'll see we kind of have it divided up into high school offerings for credit, and then we have our elementary, which Mr. Smith will go over. But we've been really fortunate in looking at our programming for this summer, and that we're going to be able to keep it relatively consistent for our students. And so, as you know, or may know, the summer school funding has changed over the last couple of years, and what can be reimbursed and what can't be reimbursed, and just what can be offered and what can't be. And so, but we're really excited that we've been able to be kind of creative in our offerings for our students and still be able to offer our students what they need for the summer. And so, physical education is on there. We'll be able to do that, of course, as normal, because that will be reimbursable this year. We've been able to partner with a couple of different organizations in schools that will offer health to our students for free, and so we're exploring those options. And then the English and math sections as well, similar to years past, the credit recovery options for students who need that kind of extra boost to get their credit. And then new this year, we have computing foundations for a digital age. That's going to be an option for our students who need that for the new diploma, because that's going to be a new course that's required for the graduation for the future new Indiana diploma. Always get that mixed up. And then additional online courses for graduation, depending upon when we have students move in from out of district, or if there's courses that we don't offer and things like that. We generally assess that and look for opportunities for our students to make sure that they're still on track for graduation. And so that's the high school portion of that.
Yep. And to piggyback on our elementary and middle school side of things, grades 2 and 3 will have their English language arts remediation. Again, that is completely one that is on the state's reimbursable list at 100%. So we know we will get the funding mechanism reimbursed for that piece. And then as far as our other remediation programs, they usually will reimburse us at a percentage. And we find that out later on. So that's why you are seeing our K-1 SOAR piece separate. As a cost savings for this summer, we did eliminate the 4-5 piece, but we are definitely offering that early literacy piece, and we'll have it for K1 and 2 and 3. Enrichment camps are back this year, so we will be offering that. We did a slight, I think it's the first time in 3 or 4 years that we've had a slight increase in the enrichment camp costs. So it went from $125 to $135. But what that will absolutely allow us to do is make sure that that fully funds itself so that we don't have to lean on any other forms of reimbursement. And then lastly, I just found out today, Camp Invention will occur. It was kind of back and forth on who was going to sponsor that and be able to do it, but we did have somebody step in, so we will have Camp Invention as an opportunity for our summer programming as well. And then lastly, just as a reminder, the YMCA will partner with us again, which is fantastic. So it'll offer our families an opportunity. If you remember, a lot of our summer school programming is half day, as well as our summer enrichment. So the YMCA partnership would allow a family to both be a part of our enrichment and or SOAR program, and then have an option for an all-day YMCA experience that mirrors that piece so that they can experience care from the first thing in the morning till the afternoon when their parents can pick up and drop off. And then lastly is just the pay structure that will partner with all of this work K through 12 and shows the hourly rates, the 15 days that each of these programs will be offered, and then the hours per day. So at this time we are recommending a hopeful approval of our summer programming.
Excellent, thank you. At this time, can I get a motion for the summer enrichment programs in summer school?
I'll make a motion to accept the summer enrichment programs in summer school as presented or
Second.
approved.
Second.
Any comments or questions for Mr. Mission?
Yeah, I just have 2 questions. How much longer will the PE be offered in summer school with the diploma changing?
So this is the last year that it's reimbursable.
This is the last year.
Yeah, this is the last year that's
Okay.
reimbursable from the state. So after this, we'll have to look at need and just kind of, yeah. So this will be the last year for reimbursement.
And the online courses, how many students have taken or going to take advantage of that, and what schools are those through?
Sure. So health, we're actually looking at a couple of different options. With that one, we're looking at like our Admentum partnership that we have. So that would actually just be through us with Admentum. We're also looking at Achieve as well because they're offering health this year. They're also offering the Computing Foundations for Digital Age. So is Admentum. So we're looking at what's going to work best for our students and what's going to not just get them the credit but be the best opportunity for them as well. For that. So, and then same thing with the online courses for graduation. Typically in health, we've offered it to every single incoming freshman to take it. We've had about 200 and so, maybe a little over, take advantage of that every single year. So I would guess around there. And so physical education is definitely going to be less because now we have more students that are on the new diploma coming in, and which is 1 credit of PE versus 2, and the additional options for the PE credit, like the waiver or the weightlifting class and things like that. So last year, I believe we had 4 sections of PE, so I would imagine it would likely be less than that this year. And then the online courses for graduation, again, that's kind of on a per student basis, looking at what a student needs to graduate, if they're at a career center, for instance, and or they're doing an offsite program with work-based learning, and then we're not able to fit a specific class in the schedule that they need for graduation. So it's not just kind of like free for all. Any student just go out and take every single class. It's on an individual basis for students.
Good, thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
I'm happy that Camp Invention is happening, so I'm glad it's been set up.
We're excited as well.
Yeah, our students, that's a great opportunity for our students.
Excellent. Any other comments, questions? This time we move to vote. All those in favor of accepting the Summer Richmond Summer School programs as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like Mr. Smith will be sticking around to
Yes,
talk
indeed.
about the English and Language Arts option.
Yes, thank you. So there'll be a presentation that'll be showing up behind me for you guys and our audience online. But we had a wonderful adoption process, and I'm excited to share what that process looked like that has led to today. So as we go to the next slide, we're going to start it'll go through all the process pieces that we have followed that goes all the way back to spring of last year. So during spring of last year, we had a group come together that worked specifically on vetting what materials we would even look at going into this year. And we had two main criteria. There was a caravan that had those pieces, but we wanted to make sure that they had been vetted appropriately through the Indiana Department of Education and that they hit their high-quality materials approval list. It's important for us this go-around because if at any time you hit a certain achievement threshold, they could potentially require you to use materials off of this list. And because they had been vetted the way that they had, we said, hey, why not have two birds with one stone on this one? Let's actually start that as our main focus of the materials that we look at. After that group came in to investigating those materials, they came up with 3 that they wanted us to look at for this year. So now we fast forward to September of this school year. At that time, we began conversations with 3 recommended vendors. As you can see on the screen, that was Amplify CKLA, that's one company. McGraw-Hill Wonders was another company and their product, and then Satis. In October of 2025, I began having the negotiation components with what their quotes would be so that we could all look at it and make sure that we could afford it. So each one of them worked hand in hand with me and came up with how we could, number one, get all of the materials that had been vetted, not just some, and then tried to get those dollar amounts to where we knew that we could afford them, and then we could then give all of those materials to our teachers to be successful for our students. Then as we move into November, specifically November 6th, and thank you to a couple of our board members that participated in this process, we had our curriculum council, which is made up of board members, administrators, teachers, community members. I called it like our speed dating curriculum time, where it really was 20 minutes of down and dirty. I'm seeing head shaking on the process. They rotated each one of those presenters in, shared their process against a rubric that everybody was looking at, and then they scored and turned that in as kind of the first markings of how we did on that. Then as we go to the next process slide, we moved into November of this school year, and during that time, from November all the way through January, we had these materials vetted by our staff. So we had an evaluation tool. It was a look-for document. We'd gotten some feedback that perhaps the rubric was a little overwhelming, so through that feedback, we narrowed it down to some actual look-fors that focused upon making sure that they met the 5 components of core reading instruction, writing, speaking and listening, assessment, digital and technology, and as well as a culture component. So this is really how every teacher looked through that lens to see what the best material that we could have for their instruction and student learning. Then we go to January 27th, where we had our big K-6 staff review for our PD day. I want to give a big shout out because our teachers had to pivot during that time. If you remember, kind of like today, weather hits and you're like, oh my gosh, it can't be as predicted. So we had to switch to virtual. It ended up being an excellent opportunity for us to dig in and hear those materials. And we'll show some data that came out of that time. Then those materials stayed in our buildings and continued for them to give feedback until there was a Google form that they filled out, and that was due on February 6th. Then fast forward to February 12th, where we had a curriculum committee come together. That was made of our administrators and staff, as well as our curriculum team, and we focused that day specifically on digging into all that data that we had gotten from our curriculum council, from all of our staff, hearing every voice and getting that data in front of that group. So a big thanks to that committee that came together and did a lot of work for us one afternoon in February. Then we get today, which is me in front of you sharing that recommendation. So we started out with this committee showing them this data. This is how we started with our curriculum committee. And what you will see right away is that 2 of our vendors stood out from the rest. And our committee saw that right away also. So we eliminated Amplify from the committee process through the data that we had gotten from our staff. 86 staff members responded to this survey. Each one of the bars that you will see represents blue as their first place choice, red as their second place choice, and the gold color as their third choice. So if you add those pieces together, especially with McGraw-Hill and Savas, about 81 out of 86 respondents chose McGraw-Hill as their first or second choice. Then if you go over to the Savas component, 64 out of our 86 respondents had that as their first and second place choice. So you can see why our committee chose to go there. So we narrowed it down to 2 when we dug in to those results. We looked at the feedback. During that time, we were able to dig into both of these vendors and the materials that they had to offer, as well as sharing the cost that they were bringing to the table. For McGraw-Hill, which is a product called Wonders, the Wonders product has teacher's editions, reading and writing companions for our students that allow them to have a consumable product that they can write and annotate in, authentic literature units, and classroom libraries. That's K through 5. So our teachers were really excited with all of the resources that they were going to be able to dig into with our K-5 product known as Wonders. Interestingly enough, and one of the reasons you still see Savas on this as well is in the McGraw-Hill Wonders programming, it ends at K-5. So when we were digging into this material and we were moving into grade 6, McGraw-Hill has a different product called StudySync. And we looked at it versus Savas. So I needed you to know that over on the McGraw-Hill side, they switched to a different product in 6th grade. And that'll play out here in just a minute as we get to the recommendation. In our Savas materials, you can stay back one slide, I'm sorry. In our Savas materials, they're coming to the table with our My Perspectives product, and that product has consumable student editions as well, has digital products that come with it, teacher's editions, and then it will have novels that come with its product. So you, as we move from that learning to read piece in our K-5 and upper elementary, and we move over into that reading to learn, those novels start playing a lot bigger role. So when the Savas product has the digital, the print, and novels that are a part. So I wanted to share with you some summary pieces from both of these vendors. The strengths on the Savas side were teachers favored the consumable all-in-one workbook that allowed for students to annotate. That was a huge piece of the work when students are reading right alongside their instructional tool. They liked how it had editable Google Slides for their lessons, and it had strong translation features for our multilingual learners. Most popular in our upper elementary grades, and this is on the Savas side. And then they did say some of our lower elementary felt that it lacked the phonics depth. So that tends to be why we're going to switch gears now and talk about McGraw-Hill, which they said had a very strong phonics component. It was highly praised for its I Learn checkpoint connection. We also have some supplemental programs that we offer in our elementary schools, and this product aligned very well and had crosswalks that connected to some of those supplemental materials. Very authentic and engaging, full stories, which they really missed from our current product. So that was an exciting piece. Strongly supported in K-5, it aligns really well with science of reading. So they were very excited about that part. Some concerns was it could be overwhelming with the materials, but what they aligned right alongside that was a strong professional development component, so we thought that balanced it really well. The other piece to this is we put the cost in front of the committee so that they could see it. The $421,000 mark over on the McGraw-Hill, note this is a 6-year adoption. That number up there is missing about $30,000, which we are going to figure out a way to get shipping and handling taken off by going and picking it up. So that number is with us going and picking up the materials and not getting a shipping and handling cost. And then on the Sabbath side, that is what it'll cost for a 6th grade adoption. So this is the total, if you'll scroll just a little bit, that is the total number for the estimated total for our adoption K through 6. So back to why 2 products. When our committee went to vote on which one we wanted, we had darn near a tie between the 2. So then we facilitated that conversation among the group and realized that the reason the tie was so heavy is our 6th grade staff, 12 out of 14 voting members wanted Sabbaths because they were like, in K-5, that's Wonders. They had a different product in grade 6. And when they compared it to Sabbath's grade 6 product, it was much better. So they asked, is it possible for us to split and have K-5 Wonders and then go ahead with Sabbath's in our 6th grade? So I said, great question. Let's take that recommendation back to cabinet and see if that's something that we absolutely could do based on the fact that it was a separate program anyway, and we had so many people that wanted in grade 6 the Sabbath component. And once we reframed the question, would K-5 be absolutely ready to rock and roll with McGraw-Hill? The answer was absolutely yes. So the recommendation that I would like to bring before you to consider for approval is a adoption for our grades K through 6, where K-5 adopts McGraw-Hill Wonders and grade 6 adopts Sabbath's. It will begin next school year and will go through the 2031-32 school year, if you can imagine. But it'll be a 6-year adoption.
Very good. At this time, I entertain a motion for the English and Language Arts adoption.
Move that we approve the English and Language Arts adoption as presented.
Second. Very good. Comments or questions for Mr. Smith?
Thank you for listening to our teachers that are going to use this product. And thank you for your flexibility in exploring all of the options so that we can meet the needs of K through 5 and 6. So I know that was a ton of work and making sure we can afford all of it. So
well, it's very a proud moment to bring it to you, but the real work was done by other people. The amazing lift of all of our teachers, staff, administrators, the community members that partnered with us. Couldn't have done it without all of them, absolutely.
What was the cost margin between the Amplify and Sabbath and McGraw-Hill on just the 1 through 5 component?
I'd have to look back for certain. They were all pretty close. Yeah. We were hoping to get in a range between $400,000 and $600,000 was the range that we were after. I was very happy to be able to bring to you something that was under 5.
But it wasn't the end all.
No.
The price wasn't the
no, when we took those 3 vendors to our teachers, we had already had the conversation, could we afford all of the products that those 3 offered so that our teachers could absolutely look at them based on the materials that they had and what was best for our kids. And then they brought back which one out of the 3 or 2 out of the 3 that they would like to have for our students and staff.
Very good. And $30,000 to deliver
Yeah, so I am gonna give a shout out, if there's anybody that has a CDL or a truck, like, we're recruiting right now.
We'll buy your lunch.
Yeah,
We'll buy your lunch.
we have to go to Columbus to
Keep it
pick it up, we're going to,
We can figure it out.
I was gonna say.
but we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions for
I was
us?
saying the science of reading is so popular right now. Good move. Does that number include the PD?
Yes. Yeah, both numbers includes the professional development.
Is it a one-time or is it one and then a review?
Both, so they want us to have a really strong rollout and implementation. So they have committed to starting with us on the journey day one, and then coming back and circling after we've given it a try and see what kind of ups and downs that we need. If it goes further than that, I'm sure that they will have an idea of what some additional cost will be, but those first two phases are included.
And that's everybody, right? That's not just to stakeholders or leadership.
Yes. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of adopting the English and Language Arts adoptions as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Those opposed, no. Motion passes.
We thank you.
Next on our agenda is the New Palestine Youth League hitting barn proposal, and that'll be Dr. Pleat filling in for Mr. Lawson.
Yes, it's one thing I love, it's baseball. Okay, so just to let you know, last year I met with the group, Sarah and I did, the officers, and recreated the 3-year partnership that's been in effect, I think, since the 70s, something like that. And one thing that we reviewed were ideas of things they would like to add to provide a better youth league experience for our students. And I said, well, that involves you raising money and all that. But the one thing in the partnership, the plan, is that they have to bring any specs to the school board to get approval first. But before that, I made them meet with Matt, go walk with them, see everything, and ask the questions, and then come to me, and then we'll come to you. So what they're requesting is they are wanting to raise funds to build a hitting pavilion, and it's 80 feet wide, 72 feet long, and 14 feet tall. And you had in your packet where the proposed location is, that is there, and then it looks like basically a barn, and then they'll have the hitting features in there. So I think they believe they can have 4 or 5 the nets where there could be hitting that takes place for our students in a covered area. Originally, they were thinking about just where they have it at, put concrete, and I think they thought a little bit bigger, like, let's see if we can do the full thing to make it covered, and then the nets will last longer. They will still have the concrete in there. They have other plans, but this is the thing I know they're wanting to raise the money for currently. So they did have people come out and look at the utilities and the mapping and all of that. So they provided all the plans for you as I have requested them to do. And I think there was one more thing. But they will work with Matt on the installation of where they can be, where they can't be, where they can park, how we will mark it off during safety time for all of that. And Mr. Keefe, he's currently the president of the Youth League, and he was the one that's been communicating most with Matt, or Mr. Lawson, for this information. And he kind of showed you on the last one that we proposed. Matt kind of took their map and redid it. So, because I wanted to know exactly where the batters were going to stand and where the catchers were going to be to make sure we just have to make sure of that. And it's in a safe area going the right direction. We're not heading towards cars or anything like that. So I just wanted to verify we were staying away from the parking lot, just in case somehow we missed that net. I don't know.
Right.
So I know that's a request by the Youth League, and very grateful for that. We have a really good partnership with all of our Youth League sports, whether it's soccer, football, or baseball, and I think we'll have other requests coming at some point from the others, because they're all trying to think of how they can provide the best experience for our students, but we've received this first one from them, and they provided us with the estimate and the plans.
Very good. At this time, I'll make the motion to approve the New Palestine Youth League hitting barn proposal as presented. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions for Dr. Pleat?
I appreciate you calling it a pavilion, because inside my head, I wasn't working out the barn aspect of it, and I kept looking at it. It's a pavilion.
Yes,
So,
we elevate.
Great.
Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, they're gonna love it.
Okay. We'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of approving the hitting barn proposal as presented indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Next is Miss Jessica Neal and Miss McDonald for the junior high band and choir trip to Kings Island. Welcome.
Hi. So this is a trip that we take, this particular trip we take it every other year, so we trade off with going to Holiday World just to provide, since kids are usually in choir or band for 2 years, to give them an option. And we really like this trip because they spend so much time together, but they don't always get to connect, and so it's a really good kind of connection trip for them, and we do it with band and choir, which we have a lot of kids that cross now. So it's for the day after the last day of school, which is kind of our traditional to help parents plan around their summer, because if anything, we even looked at the following week this year because it falls kind of funny, and it was like marching band, so all the kids that are going into marching band, either as 8th graders or 9th graders, were suddenly out, and we were like, ooh, we want to really provide them a day that they can. So so that's what we are looking for since it's out of state. So we're coming to you. And our only kind of iffy thing on it right now is our travel, because when I got the quote back from Miller Transportation, it was significantly higher than in the past. So we are currently looking at all other options and trying to keep the cost down for the kids, because obviously that translates to them. So so that's our one hiccup that I feel like we haven't had in the past.
We're happy for our junior high kids to have this opportunity.
Very good. At this time, can we get a motion for the band and choir Kings Island field trip?
I'll make a motion to approve the NPJH band and choir trip to Kings Island as presented.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. You got a chaperone?
Nope.
We usually have
I've already got that I've already got that t-shirt, so.
I have an 8th grader or 7th grader who's really gonna be upset about missing this because it's also graduation.
Because it's graduation day.
But you know what, you can't avoid every conference.
Yeah, that's something.
I hope you have great weather, and we do too.
50% of the time it's raining. Graduation.
But it's under an hour.
But it's under an hour.
All right, any other comments or questions? What's that?
I just said, no, I said, we gotta vote before they leave.
Yeah. All right, let's proceed to vote. All those in favor of the band and choir trip to Kings Island indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Have a great trip. Next on our agenda is our reports, and thank you for your patience. It'll be Mr. Fox and Mr. Gray about the Hancock County Public Library update. Thank you.
Everybody loves the library.
Yeah, I know we were speaking your language. We were talking about a curriculum adoption.
You were.
Books.
Just could hardly keep quiet. Did have an opinion. Good choice.
We do the right thing, Brad.
Good evening. I'm thankful for the opportunity to come before you tonight. I'm Dave Gray. I'm the director of your Hancock County Public Library, and as you know, I'm here with Mr. Fred Fox, who is the vice president of our board and your appointment to our board. I did want to take a second and mention that Mr. Fox is up for reappointment this summer, and we would love the opportunity to work with him again, so we will be in contact to see if we can do that at your pleasure. I have a brief update. I'd like to go to the second slide. I always like to talk about how we spend our money. You can see on the left-hand side the percentage that we spend, and then on the right-hand side, in parentheses, what the state averages are, and that's we get those numbers from the Indiana State Library. We're pretty lean on salary and benefits at almost 53%. We try to put as much money in the collection as we possibly can, so we're usually around 18% there, close this year. 14 is the average. Supplies are usually around 2%. Other services and charges include a lot of the things that we have to have: internet, phone, lawn, snow removal, those types of things. And then capital, we're a little over on capital. We've had some big projects the last 2 years. We replaced some boilers and a chiller, and this year we'll be working on our parking lot. It needs some attention after 20 years. The next slide, just a few 2025 stats. I'm happy to say that we have over 21,000 active cardholders. We had almost 460,000 people visit one of our locations this year. Kind of a fun fact, if we had everyone return all the material that we had to the library, we'd have just over 252,000 items which we wouldn't have room for. So we're lucky to have a very active community at the library. We usually have about 35,000 items out at any given time. We had almost 19,000 people attend 874 programs last year. And a breakdown, as you know, that digital is clearly growing, but we're still about 68% physical items. So we have a very healthy physical circulation at almost just over 634,000. And we're nearing 300,000 for our digital items. So we're around 32 there. We're seeing about a 2 to 3% growth in digital year over year. The 2,100 or 21,000 cards that I mentioned do not include the student cards. Since 2018, we've worked with all 4 school systems throughout the county to issue over 25,000 cards. These are digital only. It does make it easier for us when a student does come into one of our locations to quickly issue a physical card as well. And we've checked over 89,000 items out to those kids. Kind of a breakdown of our electronic resources that I talked about. We circulated over 17,000 movies, TV shows, and documentaries. Kind of surprising, only 118,000 ebooks to 151,000 e-audiobooks, which we like because you never have a damaged disc or a lost disc. So that makes it a lot easier. Almost 6,000 songs. And one item that we don't have the logo for, we do offer tutor.com, and we had over 660 tutoring sessions last year. Those are live tutoring sessions online, and those can be used with the digital card as well.
What's the, ask a question, what's the level of age that?
All the way to college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I actually had a student at Purdue was taking a calculus class that took advantage of that at my urging. Don't want to pay for that again. Beyond the bookshelf, we do have some experience passes. We have free and reduced state parks and different cultural experiences throughout the state. We do have a library of things, and from board games to learning tools, puzzles, Blu-ray players. People still need those, and check those out. Projectors, iPads, and Wi-Fi hotspots as well. As I mentioned before, a little bit of a breakdown of our events and spaces. We do have study rooms at both of our locations, so we had over 6,300 people use a study room. A lot of that is tutoring after school. And it may surprise you to know that not just our free Wi-Fi, but actually our public computers. We had over 53,000 public computer sessions last year as well. And as I said, over 19,000 people attended one of our programs last year. We can personalize service for you. You can book a librarian, and we'll match you up with someone that can help you one-on-one with research, technology, genealogy research as well. We usually try to kind of get an idea of what you're looking for and match you up with the person that's going to be able to help the most. If you don't know what to read, we can absolutely help you. And parents can also request a stack of books from us as well. If they give us a little bit of information, we'll provide a collection of books for them to take home. Another thing that we offer is interlibrary loan. We don't have it. A lot of the times it might be hard to get, or maybe it's not in publication anymore. We'll work with other public libraries and academic libraries to get a loan and get that to you as quickly as we can. Try to provide service wherever you are. Hopefully you've seen our bookmobile out throughout the community. We had 466 stops last year, serving almost 18,000 people. Wilkinson, Shirley, healthcare community, schools, many more places, a lot of special events as well. We also offer delivery services. The bookmobile deliver and pick up material for patrons. We have had 153 homebound patrons last year, and we also delivered 196 special collections to teachers as well. Something that we tried out this year, of course, you know the 3 eastern townships are the least populated townships, and kind of cost prohibitive to have a physical location there. We installed remote lockers. These are the same lockers that you'll see Amazon and Home Depot use. You can request any of our physical items, and we'll have that delivered to that locker, and you'll be notified within 2 to 3 days. And you can also return it to that same site as well. Summer readings are our busiest time of the year. This year, we try to help with that summer slide. We had over 4,100 people participate that read almost 8.5 million minutes. During that time, we had almost 9,000 people take advantage of 237 programs and activities that we offered over the summer. I can give you a quick breakdown. So for New Palestine Community Schools, you had over 1,462 readers, and they logged almost 511,000 minutes. So very active in New Palestine Community Schools. Also like to put a plug in for the Imagination Library. A lot of you know that that's a great partnership we have with the Community Foundation. We're the administrative piece, so we take care of all the addresses, signing people up, moves, types of things like that. And then the Community Foundation is the funding piece. We have, we usually go between 2,600 and 2,800 kids in the program at any given time, and we refer to graduated as you've been through the program from birth to 5, so we've had over 3,300 kids go through the program. You can see up in the top right-hand corner, there's a study there that the Community Foundation worked with Ball State University, and the kids that were in Imagination Library scored higher on kindergarten readiness than those that were not, which we knew, but it's always nice to see the study come out and show us that with the data. A couple big projects we had last year. We did update our website, and we also updated our app. We wanted to make sure everything was accessibility compliant and make sure things were easy to find. Our Refresh mobile app also gives you better account management as well, so a lot of things can be done through our app. I always list all of our library board members. We have 7 library board members that are appointed by the county council, the city council, Greenfield City Council, county commissioners, and then 1 from each of the school boards. I put my contact information up. If you ever have any questions, my cell phone number is on there as well. Please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions, comments, concerns. We're always happy to talk about the library. Can I answer any questions for you?
So I was grumbling last year about whatever app it used to be that went away. I don't even remember the name now.
Overdrive and Libby.
Thank you,
Yes.
Overdrive. Because you recommended that I make sure that I download Canopy and Hoopla, which
Yes.
I did and
How'd
have
you like
started
it?
utilizing. So
Excellent.
I don't even remember Overdrive.
There you
So
go.
thank you, Mr. Director.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Still a big fan of the library.
Excellent.
Mr. Fox, anything to add?
Absolutely not.
Good
job. Short and sweet.
Thank you for your service to the.
Oh, thank you for allowing me that.
Anybody else have anything you want to say?
We're very proud of our library here in Newcastle, so thank you for your hard
Thank you
work.
for all the great work you do as well.
I'm sure I've got quite a few of those books that are lost or not returned in my house somewhere.
We appreciate that as well.
Dan's storing them for you.
I'm sure I bought them.
Perfect.
I'm sure I paid for them. So, yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda is informal comments. I don't believe we had any this evening, so we'll move on to board member comments. And we're going to start down here today. Amanda.
Okay, yeah. The way we started with the group that won for the Exceptional Children Award is so close to my heart. I have 2 really close aunts who were born with chromosomal abnormalities. They were born in the 50s and they were given like 10 years to live. And one is still, she's going to turn 70 soon. She's our treasurer, and I have a goddaughter who has multiple challenges, and so this piece of the puzzle is really personal, and I'm really thankful for all the hard work, specifically for those students, and all really does mean all. I really want one of their shirts.
I made notes.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm really, really proud of that piece.
Well said. Yeah, I can't add much more to that. What I was going to say, last Tuesday was Indiana School Board Association Legislative Day. I attended again this year. I wish I had better news or more things to share with you, but does seem to be some issues they're still trying to tackle. Cell phone bans, bell to bell, I think is something that's passed. They've rearranged some things with school board elections and how we'll be listed. And other issues that they're trying to tackle, some social media. We spent a lot of time on social media, but not any real time on issues that seem to be affecting the majority of us. But happy to serve in that role and continue to listen and learn from the State House and what's new. So, thanks.
Just a plug for the Imagination Library. I mean, that's a great thing that partnership that the Community Foundation, the schools, and the library all put together. And the nice thing is I believe that John was talking about in the state legislature, right? That was up for discussion, whether it was gonna be funded or not. And in our county, we have an endowment through the community foundation, which we didn't have to worry about that. So all of our kids in our county are taken care of through that endowment. And so there were a lot of forward-thinking people a long time ago that set that up that didn't have to worry about that. And then great to see all the hard work that went into our English language arts adoption by our staff, our parents, our community. It really was and our 2 board members that were on that committee, a great effort. It allowed us to get a great product that meets our students' needs as well as our teachers are pleased with. So, and that's all I have.
Kimberly.
I don't have a lot other than to say that, I guess for anyone listening that may not be aware, the board gets an update every Friday from Dr. Pleak, kind of just letting us know everything that's going on in the school corporation. And there's so many great things that are happening all the time, whether it's academics, athletics. Our show choirs have had a lot of success in the last week or so, but Dr. Pleak always says it's fun to win, and it feels like we're doing a lot of winning lately. So congratulations to everyone that is involved in all the great things that are happening in our school community.
Well said. That complete?
Yeah, winning is fun. We say it all the time, and we like doing it. We sweep awards and everything. And, we're humble about it. So, prepared a statement to read. Since our February board meeting, when I provided a facilities update, I sincerely appreciated all of those that have reached out to share support, ask thoughtful questions, offer reflections. And I also understand that the speculation is increasing, and yes, rumors are increasing, and that all of that has grown. But that is natural when you're working and choosing transparency while we're still gathering information, narrowing options, and thoughtfully contemplating next steps. Over the past couple of months, I've met with, or not just me, but we've met with a couple of times with a wide range of stakeholders, consisting of current staff, retired staff, parents, grandparents, community members. I shared openly that what we are facing and asked what we must take into consideration as we think about our capital project decisions. And several non-negotiables emerged. First and foremost was safety. Not the hardening of buildings, not the wanding, but felt safety, psychological safety, the kind of safety that must exist before meaningful learning can occur. As it relates to facilities, safety was described as a well-designed buildings that operate reliably and efficiently, spaces that are long-lasting and appropriately sized, and environments to support learning and daily operations in a sustainable way. Efficiency was not only framed as budget alone, it was described as part of what makes a building functional for our teachers to teach and our students to learn. The group also shared that for any decision to feel responsible and aligned with our values, that it must first and foremost be student-centered, where student safety, learning, and the experience comes first. Next, they determined fiscally responsible, demonstrating strong stewardship with long-term sustainability in mind. Transparent, clear, honest, ongoing communication, especially about constraints and trade-offs. Collaborative, authentic engagement where input informs thinking, even when it does not solely determine the outcome. Inclusive, considering diverse perspectives and how decisions affect different parts of our community. Impactful, where innovation leads to meaningful results for our students. Since our February meeting, we have also received additional clarity regarding what the next decade might look like under the current SCA 1 legislation and our anticipated funding capacity for the next several years. Again, we are not alone in needing to make decisions but it impacts all schools differently in the state of Indiana because all of us have unique circumstances. You can read something every day about the impact on schools. Primarily for us, it's the changes to the homestead deductions, the increasing circuit breaker loss, and the property tax credits that result in revenue loss for schools significantly impact us because we are largely about 88% residential. To put this in perspective, in 1 year, last year we lost about $300,000 in circuit breaker loss. This year we're going to be at $1.5 million in circuit breaker and unfunded tax credit loss. And projections indicate that that number is going to continue to grow. We have learned that our net levy per student we receive is way considerably low, below the state average. Our net assessed value projection for the next 5 years is expected to decrease approximately 5% each year for the next 5 years. And this reduces our ability to capture revenue for operation expenses across our school corporation. And guess what? Those expenses continue to increase each year. One thing we know with certainty is that legislation continues to evolve year after year. We must prepare for uncertainty rather than waiting to react to it. At the same time, we are prioritizing education and opportunities we provide our students, and we will not sacrifice that. Protecting the student experience remains our top priority, even as we navigate financial realities. I previously mentioned the condition of the junior high and our responsibility to determine the best path forward. We know there is not a financially feasible way to simply fix the current building in isolation. Rather than looking at making a right or wrong decision, our responsibility is to make the best possible decision with what we know today while anticipating what the future may require of us. This decision is not simply about a building. It's about protecting the experience people have when they walk into our buildings. It is about keeping our amazing staff. It is about providing amazing opportunities. It is about sustainability. It is about stewardship, and it's all about trust. I want to thank the board for your patience as we work to narrow the options. You care very deeply for this community. Every time I have conversations with you, I feel it and know it. You take your role seriously. You exemplify what it is to be New Pal proud. You ask very thoughtful and compelling questions. You continue learning about the complexity that we are faced with. Decision making at this level is rarely simple. It can be heavy because it's so worth it. Our kids are worth it and our staff is worth it. I am very grateful for your support. I'm grateful working alongside all of you as we navigate this together. Once a direction is determined, it will be shared clearly with our staff, our families, and our broader community. Dragon excellence every day means we do not avoid complexity. We face it thoughtfully, transparently, and with students at the center of every decision. Thank you.
Anything else?
Winning's fun.
Winning's fun, okay.
And I'm going to be a grandma, and I just thought that Dolly Parton Imagination Library, I've got to make sure my grandbaby gets signed up.
All right.
But thank you for this. So.
Yep. Well said. I too was very grateful for the book adoption, the work that went into that. So thank you, gentlemen, for that and spearheading that committee. And I love the fact that, as you said, Ms. Haverly, that they really challenged the teachers to see what they wanted, because they're the ones that have to implement it and use it. So it only makes sense. So I'm glad you're inquiring and getting that feedback from them. The only thing I have is to say good luck to the boys basketball team competing in sectionals on Wednesday night. Go get them, boys basketball team. Then they'll be playing Friday night, right?
And Saturday night.
And Saturday night, yeah. Saturday night's a championship game. So.
No problem.
Good luck to those. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to say? All right, only thing left to do is adjourn. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no.